All right, we got some Dynasty sell high wide receivers
out.
for you today. 2 each, guys that we think it's at the peak. It's time to sell. For whatever reasons, we will give those reasons. So I'll go first. My first sell high wide receiver is Deontay Johnson. And I have talked about him as a sell before. So some of the things that you might hear might be slightly recycled, but I think I genuinely looked at this and I said, he is the best sell high in my opinion. Okay. So that's why I'm bringing him. Still young, only 25 years old. How did he become a sell high? Well, he just had his best ever year, right? 107 receptions on 169 targets, over 1,100 yards, 8 tutties, finished as the wide receiver 8, second in targets. I mean, this is a great season for Deontay Johnson. However, I think he's already had his best season here in 2021. Okay. All right. Number one, let's look at how did he get those fantasy points in 2021? How did he have his best ever season? Big Ben could not throw a long ball to save his life. And the offense has changed for the past few years to complement Big Ben's weaknesses, right? That led to a bunch of short passes to the wide receivers. And Deontay was a big beneficiary of this change in the offense. Big Ben last year, get this, ranked 31st in pass yards per throw.
My guy.
There are only 32 starting quarterbacks, okay? 31st in pass yards per throw. Deontay ranked 90th in yards per catch. 90th in yards per catch. So my guy's not getting many down the field receptions. This is where the money is coming from, right? This is not an effective offense. They made the playoffs, but they were bottom 12 in points per game this season, okay? The defense really carried them to the playoffs. The offense has to change. It has to change. Remember watching games this year? It was painful to watch the Steelers offense because everyone knew what was happening almost every play, okay? The offense has to change, and it's already changing in a big way. Big Ben will be gone, okay? There will be a new quarterback in Pittsburgh. Is it one of these big free agents? Maybe. Is it Kenny Pickett? Is it Malik Willis? Maybe. But regardless, change will come. The chemistry will not be there from the get-go. And I like to argue that Chase Claypool will be the biggest beneficiary of this quarterback change than Deontay Johnson. I know Deontay was impressive the year that Big Ben went out. He kind of emerged. But still, Chase Claypool, all of his strengths, all of his skill sets did not match up with Big Ben. Right. Okay? New quarterbacks will be able to utilize Chase because their arm isn't an actual noodle that's been sitting in hot water for 10 years, okay? Only 3 teams threw the ball more than Pittsburgh in 2021. Expect them to establish the run more in 2022 as they continue to build that offensive line. They had one of the youngest offensive lines in 2021, excuse me. And I think his price is at an all-time high. I genuinely think it's at an all-time high. I don't think it's going to get higher than this, okay? Right. With age, with lack of production that I see coming, or regression at least, right? So I don't want to move Deontay for picks. I'm not like, of course, if you gave me 2023 first, let's talk about it. Yeah. But I don't want to really move him for picks. I would rather move him for a dynasty wide receiver I like more. I agree. And maybe I have to give extra to make that happen, okay? I agree. So here's some scenarios I'll throw out to you. I will send Deontay in a late 2022 second for Jalen Waddle. Let's see if we can make that deal. Maybe it doesn't pan out for you. How about sending Deontay for T. Higgins straight up? T. Higgins, I have him ranked as a top 9 wide receiver in Dynasty. Not everyone does. Okay, you send Deontay, you might not like this. Well, you will, I know, Badake, for Elijah Moore and a second in 2023. So these are scenarios that I'm throwing out to you that I think these players their value will be much higher next year. So that's my first sell high. Who is your first sell high, Badake?
My first sell high is Tyreek Hill. And look, I always like a young team, but there's always somebody out there that wants to get this guy. It's Tyreek Hill. He's on one of the most explosive offenses, and he is one of the most explosive, fastest wide receiver in the league right now. Okay, on one of the best offenses, connected to one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But all things must come to an end. Okay,
does it have to though? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Look,
I don't know.
Tyreek's 27 years old. His last year of his contract. Let's be honest. I do believe he probably going to get he's going to accept a friendly team contract, maybe a 2-year extension, 3-year extension, whatever the case may be. I think once that peak hits, though, I think it's time to sell. But there's 2 ways you can sell. You can sell now, saying, hey, just on name value basis, sell now for Tyreek Hill, get him off your team, go for a younger guy, okay? Or you can wait until he drops that 40 bomb, which he's always going to drop the 40 bomb during the season, and sell at the very high. Like, bro, you want Tyreek? You trying to win right now?
That might be smart. Hey,
yeah, that could be a thing. But look, once again, he's connected to Patty. So anyone that is connected to Patrick Mahomes, they want on their team, whether it's Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. They need those guys on the team if you're a win now team. Okay. And once or if the Chiefs say, you know what, we're not going to move forward on re-signing Tyreek, that's another scenario as well. Hey, Tyreek is going to, you see that tweet, Tyreek is going to test free agency.
Right.
Done. What team is going to go on? Who's his quarterback? Right. He's already losing the best quarterback in the NFL.
Sounds impossible right now, right? Yeah. But it happens.
It could happen, okay? So kind of like what Zach's saying, he's going to be trading some of these guys for, younger wide receivers. So I'm going to be trading Tyreek Hill for guys that I want, that I believe in a package or picks, whatever the case may be, a Waddle, A.J. Brown, a Chase, a J.J., Elijah Moore, a T. Higgins, a CeeDee Lamb. Those are the guys that I'm looking for, whether it's a straight up, whether it's picks. I'm happy
to take picks for some of those guys. We got to be honest. No one's going to move Chase and Jefferson. But
no doubt. And I'm happy to throw in some picks for Chase or JJ. No doubt about it.
Right.
With Tyreek, just get him off your team. I think if you want to continue to evolve in Dynasty and your team to change and stay up, stay up to date and young, you got to move these guys that are a little bit close to your heart or is connected to a top end quarterback.
Right.
Well, you can get a Chase that's connected to a top quarterback. JJ's not connected to a top quarterback, but he's efficient. He's been top 3, top 5 the past 2 years he's been in the league so far. So that's who I'm selling.
Okay. All right. I can see where you're coming from there. All right. My second sell high, my last sell high wide receiver. Again, I've talked about him in buy or sell, but when I thought to myself, okay, what is actual good information to bring people? Like, who are 2 players that I full-heartedly believe you need to sell now? Okay, so here's another one. Deebo Samuel. Okay. This season, he had over 1,700 total yards, 14 total touchdowns, reached the potential that we always saw for him. Okay. You and I, last year, we had a video talking about Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. I said, look, Ayuk is Deebo is one of the most talented guys in the league.
Right.
He can reach. I didn't think he would do this.
Yeah. No,
but everyone saw the potential for Deebo. It finally came together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to be honest. If you own Deebo, are you not worried about the injury history?
100%.
If I own Deebo, I am. And I think this is the perfect time to sell high for a different wide receiver that I love more. Let's talk about it. We have to talk about the injury history, okay? Since 2019, he's been absent for almost 30% of his games due to injury. Okay, I hate to be this guy, but in Dynasty, sometimes we do need to look at the injury history.
Right.
Is this someone that I can trust long-term? Because this has only been 1 year of Deebo being his absolute best, and that's because of the injury history, okay? Let's go all the way back to college. In 2015, he missed 7 games due to a hamstring injury. In 2016, missed 3 more games due to the same injury. In 2017, he broke his fibula, which is his leg, missed the rest of the season. In 2020, he had a Jones fracture in his left foot while training, missed the first 3 games of the season. In 2020, again, same year, he missed 6 more games due to a hamstring injury. And then even this year, when he broke out, had this wide receiver 3 performance, probably the best weapon in the NFL at this point, right?
No doubt.
Even in this year, he still had a ton of injuries that worried you every single week,
Every time he went down, we were breathing, holding our breath, so no.
Yeah, the glute, the calf, the shin, the groin, the knee. And I have to ask myself, why has Deebo been injured so much in his career? Well, it's the play style. Deebo, the way that he can play in the open field, the yak game, the physicality of his game, it is truly something special. You don't see guys like this come around the league very often. However, the play style means he's always getting the absolute worst a defender has to offer. Right. He is always putting himself in that position. And you might argue and say, well, he's being used everywhere. He's being used in the backfield. Honestly, I am maybe a small percentage of people who doesn't want my wide receiver used as a running back. Maybe. Because running backs get injured more than any other offensive position, right? So for me, the reason we love him is because he's such a physical wide receiver. And he just has that bulldog mentality. It's something special, but that leads to him not being available for your team very often. This year
Correct.
is the exception, not the rule for him. And the last thing I'll say is the quarterback change will be massive. Jimmy G will not be there. And yes, Jimmy G is not flashy. He's not a fun name, but he perfectly suited Debo's game. I don't know if we can say that about Trey Lance. Okay. There's games where Trey Lance rushed for 16 times when he started this year. I know that right now the reports are that Debo's game won't change. The game plan won't change for him, but we're all assuming that Trey Lance can provide what Jimmy did. I love Trey Lance. I believe in him, but they're not the same quarterback.
Right.
They don't offer the same things for an offense. So it's pretty difficult to say he will be the same player. And I'd like to go out on a ledge and say, I don't believe he's going to finish higher than this ever again. I don't think he's going to have a better season.
Absolute ceiling here then.
Okay. So for me, a lot of people have Debo ranked in the top 3 in Dynasty wide receivers. I couldn't get there. So I'm going to tell you some wide receivers I prefer over Debo. Obviously, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. You're probably not going to get those deals done. But how about A.J. Brown, Waddle, CD? Right now, when people are low on him, DK, T. Higgins. These are all players I prefer over Debo Samuel at this point.
Agreed.
I saw someone in one of our buy sell videos for Debo. They got 223 firsts. Okay. If you can do that in a heartbeat. Okay. I would ease the wide receivers, the talent in the 23 class is insane. So I think it's time to sell. I think there is a peak, and there will be people angry at me. I know you don't sell just because of age, but notice I didn't say anything about his age. Okay. He's getting up there, but notice I didn't bring age to the table here. So that's my last one. Badake, what is your last sell high wide receiver?
Look, I'm going to bring age to the table, and that's Stephon Diggs. Okay. And this is, and these are the two guys. This is why I'm selling Tyreek and Stephon Diggs, because they're at that turn. They're in that weird place. Yeah, they're in that weird place where like you see like their value kind of dropping, especially in mock drafts or people saying, oh, whatever the case may be. If you can sell them high now, then this is the best opportunity that you can get. Diggs is 28 years old. His contract is ending in 2023. When his contract ends, he's going to be 30 years old. I don't believe the Bills are going to invest in him with another contract extension. Maybe he's done. Maybe he goes to another team. Maybe he does go to
it's a 1-year deal.
Yeah, maybe they do go to Super Bowl and they lose and they give him a 1-year deal, something like that. But the best way to sell this player is Stephon Diggs is with 2 words: Josh Allen. That's really it. He's connected to one of the best, another great quarterback in the NFL. You have Patrick Mahomes and then Josh Allen, 2 back-to-back guys that are going to compete for as long as possible. And let's not forget what Stephon Diggs has done. In 2020, he finished top 3 wide receiver and he led the league in targets. So that can still happen. Obviously, the offense was a little bit different in 2021. That's because the defense got better. That's because the defense was improved and there was a lot less opportunity for the offense to actually get onto the field. But it's plain and simple. I'm selling him due to his age. I'm trying to see if I can flip these guys for a younger guy right now. I'm going to be packaging Stephon Diggs in some picks for the exact same thing as Tyreek Hill, a Waddle, an A.J. Brown, a Chase, a J.J., a Moore, Higgins, CD,
Right.
These younger guys that I believe in that can change my team. And I believe, Waddle is a top guy. Chase is a top guy. Throw some picks in, see what happens. Maybe overpay a little bit because Stephon Diggs is at that peak. Whereas
that's what I was going to say, by the way. Sorry, just quickly. I feel like with Tyreek and Stephon Diggs, you will have to lose trades.
Yeah, and that's okay.
You will have to, and that's okay. You just have to be okay with knowing that right now, the trade, you lost it. But in a year from now, that trade will look a little bit differently.
100%.
I get where you're coming from.
And that's why I think, I believe that you guys should get these guys, trade these guys away now, get a younger team, start building for the future. Unless you're a win now team, that's different, but build for the future.
And that's a great perspective as well. If you're a win now team, maybe you don't, except for Deontay, because I really think that his best year is behind him. Maybe you don't sell any of these guys if you're truly a win now team. But the reality is if you can sell them for the players that we mentioned, you're better off long term anyway. You keep transitioning into this hybrid that can win. So
exactly.
All right, guys, those are our trade high wide receivers. Let us know in the comments below. And I don't want to see anyone saying, no one's selling these guys high. Okay. Got him. Bang. All right. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Let us know in the comments below if you agree.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/ /fantasylandfam.